Today, we are going to continue to set up my 2026 life planner. We're going to look at some critical pages in my monthly section and get things ready for the new year. So let's get started. Well, hi everyone. This is Crystal from A Crystal Clear Life, where we focus on planning, organizing, and living a more simplified life. And today we are going to continue that process of setting up my 2026 planner. You guys voted and you said you wanted to see all the details, so I'm going to give you all of the details. I'm going to break this up over the next couple of videos. I'm going to do a marathon filming today. And then you'll see little segments so that you're not overwhelmed over the next few weeks, okay? All right, well, if all of that sounds interesting to you, please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Hit that like button down below. Leave me a comment if you would like to. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. And please feel free to share this video with anybody else who you might know who is looking to start planning or using OneNote for any reason. All right, well, with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into the computer. I have a lot to share with you today, and I'm ready to get started. All right, well, you can see here on my screen, 2026 is right around the corner, and I have some other videos that I have completed in the past. I have created a 2026 planner playlist, and I will leave that linked up above and down in the description box so that if you want to catch up to where we are now, you can do so and then come back to this video. Okay, so far we have set up our year-long section, and you see the pages that are over here. We talked about how OneNote is organized, notebooks, sections, and pages. I showed you how to create pages, how to move pages from one place to the other, and all of that kind of thing. I showed you also how to create different sections and how to move those sections from one place to the other. So again, all of that will be in the 2026 playlist. I don't want to review all that here. I just want to keep going. So here we go. All right. What I want to do in this year-long section is I'm going to go over here to add a page, and that's going to create simply a blank page for me that looks like this, okay? I have decided which notebook I want to use, and probably a surprise to no one, I am going back to a black notebook, but I am going to keep the rings on the side. I find it's easier to organize the pages with one long landscape layout than it is to have two pages that are split in half, okay? So let me show you what I have going on here in PowerPoint. So let me bring up PowerPoint for you. And we created this page together. Again, there's a video in the playlist. So all I'm going to do today is say to you that I've taken a look at this. I think I have enough space at the top for the my tabs at the top. But just to make sure, I'm going to move this little spiral that I have here down just a little bit. And I'm going to make this page here just a little bit smaller so that I have plenty of space for my tabs at the top, okay? Now what I need to do is I need to go up here and I need to choose all of this. So I'm grabbing in the corner, right-clicking, pulling the whole thing down, and I am going to make a copy of that and drop this down and go back into OneNote, and I am going to paste that in, okay? Now, that gives me my look of my background, okay? I'm going to pull it out of this container. See the container up here at the top, the little gray bar? I'm going to pull it out of that container. There we go. Pull it out of the container. Now you see there's no container around it at all, okay? And what I can do is I can set this now where I want it on my page. I happen to be somebody who likes the title of my page to be actually on my page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my graphic all the way up here at the top so that you will actually be able to see the title of my page up here at the top, okay? Now, I also like my page to fill most of my screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to drag the corner and, well, that might be a little bit too big. Let's see. That looks pretty good right there. So now when I have my graphic on the page, I'll still be able to get my tabs in up here at the top. They'll fit nicely across the top, and then my page tabs will fit here on the side, and the title of my page will be right there, and my screen will be filled with my page. Okay, now this one is untitled at the moment, so I'm going to go up here and give this a, a title, and I'm going to say 2026 notebook background. There we go. So now I have that listed there. Okay. All right. I'm going to continue to build on this particular page as we go through, because I want this page actually to become a template for the other pages that I create in my notebook. Okay. All right. Now, I know that a lot of the links that I used in my previous notebook worked really well, but I want to go through and take a look at them and make sure that they are right. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my 2025 notebook, and let's go to the inbox because that's the page that I use the most. As you can see, it's very full, and it is always at the top of every one of my monthly sections because it is the page that I use the most in each section, and I want it to be right there on top, okay? But these are the links that I'm talking about here. So let me scroll in so you can see those. And the links that go across the top here, this simply is a one column or a one row table. And I'll show you how to create that in just a minute. But I want to check these links here and see. When you check a link, what you're looking for is, like, for example, if I click on the link inbox, I want it to go to the inbox that is in the month that I want it to be in. So right now it should be going to my 2025 December inbox. So the link is there and is created. So what I can do if this is not going to the right page is I simply can highlight it. I can go up here to insert link. Okay, and that brings up this link page. If I don't like the address where it's going, I simply can delete that and I can choose the page that I want it to go to. Okay, so for example, here on my December section, I would want that to go to December, and in December, I would like it to go to my inbox page. So I'm going to click OK. And now when I click on this inbox, it should go and stay on this page. And I can tell which sections it is in because this little December section bumps up here. Okay, so now we know that that inbox is correct. It will take us to the inbox that's in that current month, okay? The next thing that I have is my dashboard, and if I click on that one, you'll see that it takes me to my December dashboard where I have, my calendar and all of that kind of stuff set up. And then I'm going to hit my back button so I can still work on my menu for the December inbox page, okay? Then I'm going to click on my health one, and that should take me to my December health, and that looks like it's working right. Again, I'm checking to make sure that it is in that section. Then I have a house page. Now my house page takes me to a page that I have called Yearly Home Maintenance Checklist, okay? And that is where I have a section for each of the months of the year and the things that I like to do around my house, okay? I like that and I want to keep that way, all right? Now I also have one here marked garden, and you'll see in my table that I have here going across the top, I have the word garden typed in here. This is something new that I want to add this year. It is not underlined. That means it does not have a link to it. I wanted to show you how to do that. So let's highlight that. Again, we're going to go to the Insert menu and we're going to click on Link. Okay, and when we do that, what I want this one to do is I want it to go to the year-long section, and I want it to go to my Master Gardener year. And if I say OK, then it now has an underline in it, and when I click on it, it will take me to my Master Garden list, which is right here. Okay, so very easy, very simple to do. Okay, it's that quick and easy to be able to add links to your planner. Okay, now I've shown you what they look like and how they're supposed to work. Now I'm going to go back to my 2026 planner and I'm going to create that table and I'm going to show you how to put it up here at the top. Okay, so I'm going to go down here where I have some working space. And I'm going to go up to my Insert menu, and I can do it a number of ways. I can say Insert a table if I would like to, or I actually have a button up here on my quick access bar where I could insert a table. But just so that you guys see exactly what I'm doing, I'm going to my Insert, to my Table menu, and I want 1 by 7, 8, whatever it'll let me do, okay? And then I have this table down here. Again, I'm going to zoom in so you can see. And I'm going to start thinking about what links I might want to have, okay? So, for example, I know that I always want my inbox to be first. So I would, and I like it in all caps, I would do inbox. And then I would come over here and I would say, maybe I want it to say dashboard. Maybe I want the next one to be home. Oops. Home. And then tab, and I'm going to do garden here. Okay. And now in looking at this font, I'm thinking this font may be a little too big for what I want. Maybe I want something that's a little more customized. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to right click and I can choose any font that I want. I often like this kind of font because it looks like handwriting. I can choose whatever color I want. I can do whatever shading I want to make this my own. Okay. And so what I've thought about doing this year is I've actually decided on some colors that I would like to use in my notebook, and I'll show you that in just a second. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use some of those colors for the shading, all right? But if I wanted to use, something that was listed here, I simply could do that for my my font, and then I could go up here and I could shade the background a different color if I wanted to. Okay, maybe I want it, I don't know, light green, maybe something like that. Okay, all right, so you can do this in any kind of color combination that you want. Okay, then once you have it, then you go about the process of saying, well, where do I want these links to go? And we'll get to that in just a few minutes. I just wanted to show you, first of all, how I create the table and then how I can move it and put it up here at the very, very top. Okay, and you can see I have left myself plenty of space for those tabs to go across here at the top. Okay, all right, so that's how I would do it if I wanted, those tabs to be up there. Okay, now I like the way this page is looking here, but I'm wondering if it's just a little bit too big. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it just a little bit smaller, like so. and see how that works, okay? And what I'm basing that on is I'm basing that on the tabs that I have up here, okay? I don't want the tabs to be too big or too small. Now you see that my background is still moving around, and that's because I have not set it as the background yet. So let's do that right now. We're going to get that background exactly the way we want it. Get those out of there for the moment. All right, so we're going to get that background exactly the way we want it, and then we're going to right click on it and we're going to say set picture as the background. Now that picture, that graphic is not going to move. And if I go back in here and paste my little tabs there, you will see that now the background is not moving, and I can then go and place those tabs wherever I would like. Okay, so I am going to fix all of these tabs once I get them into my monthly section. What I want to do on this page is I simply want to create kind of a page template background that I can use, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fix the rest of these tabs and get them the way that I want them, and then I'll be right back to share the final product with you. Okay, now the other thing that I wanted to mention to you is, as you can see, I can make these tabs as wide or as narrow as I want. I can also, if I want to center them, in the middle of each of the spaces, I can do that as well. I like it when they're centered like that, okay? All right, so I'm going to go and work on my tabs, getting those links the way that I want them and all of that kind of thing. And I'll be back in just a minute because you don't need to sit and watch me color, each one that I have. Okay? Okay, so now I have all of my links across the top, my inbox, my monthly dashboard page, my health and habits, my housekeeping, my garden, my meal planning, my goals, my crystal clear life page for statistics and that kind of thing, planning, video filming, that kind of thing, a link to my Google Calendar, a link to my books page for this year, and here's a link to my monthly bill payment page. Here's a list to my financial things that I want to do every month, my cleaning list, my restocking and projects list, and then all of my weeks here are across the top as well. Okay? All right. Now, this is what my notebook is going to kind of look like for this year. All right? And I can add more tabs across the top if I want to. I simply need to go up and decide wherever I want to do that, and I can insert tabs, okay? So let me show you. Let's say I want to add 3 more tabs, and I want them before where the weeks are. So I can go up here, and I can go to the table menu, and I can say insert rows or columns, and I want to add more rows to the left. And so then you see that it adds more rows to the left. And because my container is restraining how much space I have in there, it made these doubled up. Well, all I need to do is move the length of the container down, and then that will give me a space for 3 more tabs that I can put right in there between my, my cleaning and that kind of thing and the actual weeks that I have to do. Okay? All right. And again, that's kind of what it looks like. So I'm kind of separating out those weeks. So the weeks are kind of hanging out here on the end, and I kind of like that. So that is a 1-row table where I have all of those things. The way that I create the dates down the side is I do a 1-column table that has 31 days in it, okay? We'll get to that one in just a few minutes, but I want to create my daily pages when I do that, so actually that may end up being another video for you guys, okay? All right. So I have that, and now what I want to do is I'm going to create this page as a template so that I can use it over and over and over again. Okay, so I'm going to go up here to Insert, and I'm going to go to Page Templates, and all the way down at the bottom, Page Templates. That brings up this little window over here on the side, and all the way down at the bottom it says always use a specific template, which is right here. I can't use this yet because I haven't saved it. So I'm going to say Save Current Page as a template. And I'm going to click and I'm going to call it my 2026 notebook template. Okay. Oh, I guess I didn't need to left my caps lock on. Notebook as a template, and it says set as a default template for all new pages in this current section. I'm going to say yes, and I'm going to save that. And then when I do that, any new page that I create will come up with this background. Okay, so let me show you that. If I go up here now and say add new page, it will come up and give me another page that looks exactly like the one that I just created here. Okay, so this is the one we created. This is the new one that I just added. All right, so every time now that I make a new page, I will have this set up as my background. And then all I have to do is go in here and change it. Okay, so I can change the name to 2026 Inbox Master List. And I need to create my inbox master list again because I noticed when I migrated my master list forward from last year, so let me show you that. This is what it looked like. So let me zoom in, and you can see here that I started with my customized tags that I use. If you want to know about customized tags, I have a video about that. And I'll link it down below. But when I looked at my own list now of customized tags that I have, my list is actually different. I have added more things on there, okay? So what I really need to do is to create a new list. So that's what I'll do down here on this master inbox list, okay? All right, so I'm going to go down here and I am going to go back to my home page. And from my home page, I have a list of all of my tags, okay? I can start simply by saying, well, insert a tag that says recipe to try, and I can type that, recipe to try, okay? And then I can go hit enter, and I can create another tag. The next one is gift wrapped, okay? So you can tell that I added this one when I was doing my holiday stuff, right? I wanted you to know I bought the gift, I wrapped the gift, all right? I'll say holiday task. And then when I right click holiday task and say make that a tag, there it goes, okay? And the next one, again, is an action item. And then when I click action item and I give it its tag, it's right there, okay? Now, I can arrange these however I want. I happen to just be doing the way they are listed right here. And so I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of these to my list, and then I'll show you the finished project. Because again, you don't need to sit and watch me type each one of these, okay? All right. Okay. All right, so here is my list. It has all of my customized tags, and I like having them because if I am going through and doing, something, or something pops into my head and I have to say, oh yeah, I have to remember to do that, I have to send that check to so-and-so, I can just go in here to budget task, hit enter, check to LL for books. Okay, and then that will leave it unchecked. And then I know as I'm looking at my to-do list every, month when I go back and, check my inbox at the beginning of every week or beginning of every day, I see the things that are unchecked. Okay. All right. I also have things in here like recipe to try, restaurant to try, book to read, contact information, that kind of thing that are not check boxes because that's not something that I have to check off. It's simply, information for me, okay, to be able to find it. Okay. I love, love, love having tags and creating an inbox, I think is a great way to do that. I have um, lots and lots of things that get added to my inbox every month. And part of my monthly routine is to go through and clean up that inbox. So, for example, if there is a recipe to try, or if somebody gave me the contact information of somebody else, I can go through and add that to the appropriate place or move that note or that information to the appropriate place and then get it off of my inbox. Okay? All right. Well, I think I'm going to leave it there today with creating the background, putting the links up at the top, and then creating my inbox. I think that is more than enough to get settled for this video. And so what I'd encourage you to do is take a look at what you might want your links to be at the top if you decide to do links, things that you might go to very, very frequently. And then also think about what customized tags you might want to use. Um, and that's really it for me for today. I hope you have found this useful to set up these links at the top and to create these customized tags down the side. There are lots and lots of videos again on my channel about these customized tags, how you create them, how you move them around on your list. Anyway, I hope you found this useful, and stay tuned for the next part where we're going to look at setting up our dashboard page. All right, until then, okay, bye.